Hey, welcome back to the Sony booth at E3 2014. Joined now by Steve Papoutsis from EA to talk about Battlefield Hardline. Change of pace for the Battlefield series. Things are switching up. We're in a different kind of world now.
Yeah, that's right. What we're trying to do is create an all-new fantasy within the Battlefield universe. Battlefield's always traditionally gone from different locations, whether you start with 1942 to Vietnam to 2142 to the present day. It's something that they've always done. We were excited to bring cops and criminals flavor to the Battlefield brand.
So let's talk about that. You know, as we're shifting here from a more militaristic to a police force and a criminal element, how do things change the things that we're familiar with in Battlefield? Things like vehicles, things like weapons. How does that get switched up?
Well, one of the things that's really cool about Battlefield in general is the rock, paper, scissors gameplay mix, right? They've always got such good balance in terms of the vehicles, the infantry, the gadgets. So what we're doing is we're keeping that great foundation, and we're bringing in new elements that really feed into the fantasy. New elements like the Bearcat type of vehicle that you'll see in our beta, the weapons that we're bringing, things like gadgets like zip lines, tasers, grappling hooks. It's really allowing us to focus on the fun and bring new elements in while still retaining that core competitive balance that you really want in a Battlefield game.
So let's talk about this, because I like anything that puts me on a zip line, and I like anything that gives me a grappling hook. So how does that change up the pace and the traversal within the city here?
Well, I think one of the biggest things, Anthony, is the fact that you now have an ability to really get around much easier in terms of vertical gameplay. So you could just use that grappling hook to scale up a really tall building. And then if you want, and you've got a friend, you could use that zip line to zip down and jump on a motorcycle for a quick getaway. Or zip down and drop off the loot bag with that zip line. So that's really adding a lot in terms of the traversal mechanics.
Very cool. And how does this change up game modes now?
Okay, so we've got a couple game modes that I'll talk about right now.
Okay.
Those are Heist and Blood Money.
Okay.
So one of them's asymmetrical. Heist is basically a mode where the criminals are trying to get away with a big bag of loot, and the cops are trying to stop them. So both sides are doing different things. So yeah, that's a little bit different. And then in Blood Money, we've got a mode that is symmetrical, where we have a giant pile of money in the middle of the map and two vaults on both team sides. Now, the cops are trying to get that evidence and bring it back as evidence, and then the criminals, they're just flat out trying to steal it. So they're taking that cash and they're bringing it back. So it creates some really cool interactions in terms of choke points in the middle of the map.
Right.
But also, you can see the scores of those matches flip drastically, because you can go back to the other team's vault and steal the cash out of there. So you get a lot of intense battles, really good combat, both on foot and in vehicles.
And what's that going to do for character classes now? What are the different classes that we have here as a cop or as a robber?
Right, so we're making sure that we keep that balance that I talked about, competitive and fair. So all the classes are the same on both sides. We have enforcers, professionals, operators, mechanics. Those are our classes. And as you can imagine from those descriptions, they come with a variety of different weapons that they're able to use, as well as gadgets that they're able to use. Just because the cops, for instance, may look more armored up, doesn't mean they have any advantage over the criminals. We want that balance to be fair. We know that people come to Battlefield for a very competitive experience, so we're making sure to keep that there. So it's more of an aesthetic look than anything else in terms of the two factions.
Very cool. And can you drill down any more into those particular classes and tell us a little bit about them?
Well, the one that I've been using a lot has been the Enforcer. I really enjoy the abilities that he kind of comes with. You get, on the gadget side, you have like a riot shield that you can equip, which is pretty cool. So if you have that equipped on your back, it'll prevent you from getting shot from behind. If you actually have it in the front, you can use it as a melee weapon, slam guys, pretty cool. You get a nice loadout of different weapons that you can use.
Very cool. And what are our team sizes looking like?
So one of the things right now in the beta, we have a match that we have up, our high tension map. We're allowing 32 players, but we will actually have and support 64 players on PlayStation 4 and PC.
Very nice. And let's talk a little bit about the beta. You guys just opened that up, yeah? How can people become a part of that?
Well, so we did open it up, and it was totally crazy yesterday. It was pretty blown away with kind of the reaction. We allowed for instant access right after our press conference, what was really fun. But right now, today, if you continue to register, you can still get codes. So you just have to go to Battlefield and sign up, and you'll get a code in a couple days.
Cool. And what kind of stuff is open and available in the beta right now?
So we've got our map, High Tension. We've got Blood Money and Heist. So those are up there right now.
Very cool. And what are we looking at for the final release date?
We're looking at October 21st here in North America for the release date. And by the way, if anybody wants to get a code for the beta, I'm actually giving a bunch away today and throughout E3 on my Twitter account, which is @LevelUpTime. So if you follow me, I'll ask a weird question. If you happen to answer it, I'll send you a beta code. And I'm also giving away PC codes.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Steve. Let's check out the trailer for Battlefield Hardline.
Sky 5 can confirm a large police presence in downtown Los Angeles.
We got an RPG!
All units, we have confirmation that a 211 is underway.
Your charge is good! Go, go, go!
Suspects are moving with the package. Take them down.
All right, we're good to go on the grapple. Hit that area now! Tased and down. You have the right to remain silent.
PlayStation